The Council has assembled. They are eager to hear your report.
Good evening. We begin tonight's meeting of the Council by calling the Council to order. Hello to everyone and thanks for joining us. The Council is a live Twitch talk show and podcast discussing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm Elise, and with me are my fellow Council members, Magic Eights.
Hi.
And Sakari.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so I just want to make sure that everybody knows Mr. Redna R3DN4 will not be with us tonight. He decided he was going to spend some time with family and then also stand by and watch the dark side blot out the sun this afternoon. So, believe it or not, he is in chat with us right now. Apparently he's calling me hot, so heck yeah. But Good to have you with us, Mr. Redna. If even in hollow form, that'll be okay tonight. Let me just ask you guys, how did you guys do with the eclipse today? Did you get to see it at all?
I did. My boss's boss actually made everybody go outside and look at it. It was really funny. Yeah.
That sounds safe.
Well, I mean, we had glasses, but she literally was like going to everybody's cubes going, have you gone out? And like would borrow glasses and shove people out the door. It was really funny.
It's an educational opportunity.
Yes.
What
We're government.
Magic? Oh, yes, indeed.
Well, my son, their school was called out today. They didn't go to school. So 2 days into his first school year, and he already has a day off of school, and there's no snow. Woo! Yeah, that's the first. I wasn't that lucky as a kid. So anyways, my son has these glasses, which is great because I didn't buy any. For like a month, I've been seeing them, and everyone's like, oh, buy these now. They'll be hard to get. And I'm like, I'll be able to get them. And of course, I couldn't, but I didn't even care. I was like, I can watch online. Well, thankfully, my son brought some home from school, so we took turns using his, and he was really excited. He's 5 years old, and this was a big deal to him. He was trying to tell me how it happened and how it worked and trying to give me the science behind it. Super cute. And finally, when it was almost like perfect, almost 100%, because we're in the Midwest, and it was like perfect on us. And so I pull him outside on the porch, and I'm shielding my eyes and covering his eyes with the glasses, and I'm like, look at it. It's 100%. And it goes, bloop. Completely dark. He goes, I can't see anything. So it's actually really cute. I pull him back inside and I take a look. It was pitch black outside. People turned on their lights to drive down the street. Super cool. My whole family, well, I lied. My daughter wouldn't understand and she would take glasses off. So my husband and son and I did, and my daughter watched TV.
It was cool. I got to go outside at work. Everybody got glasses. They bought us all glasses, so we got to go out and look at it. And it was really cool. It was this eerie kind of it wasn't so hot in Texas on like a 97-degree day. It wasn't hot outside, and it was like an eerie light. It was really cool to see.
That's cool.
Anyway, that's me.
Wow,
that's
that
awesome.
was wonderful.
Well, that was a good start for today for me anyway. Having the eclipse. For the topics this week, we're going to talk about the upcoming update 5.4 and all the changes we're supposed to be expecting and the additional content.
That's delayed by 24 hours.
Yes, it is.
True.
So after our live broadcast, you can find our recorded episodes everywhere podcasts are found. For people who were wondering, it is on iTunes now, but don't look for the Council SWTOR. Just look for the Council, and you'll see our picture and logo, because apparently adding SWTOR really screws it up for iTunes. You can find us on our YouTube channel, which is the Council SWTOR. And if you click our panel, you can find our actual website, which is thecouncilswotor.com. You can check out our social media, and don't forget Twitch, of course. And as Redna says, what's Twitch? You can find our Facebook page, facebook.com/thecouncilswotor. And Twitter is where we try to keep everything updated, minus this week. But forever and forever now, it'll be at the Council SWTOR and always be updated. And you can find our Patreon page at patreon.com/thecouncilswotor. We kept everything super easy for you. Everything is the Council SWTOR. So Ta-da! Oh, and we
All
have
right.
our first patron subscriber.
We
Thank you to
do.
Zen, who has pledged allegiance to our council. We thank
Yes.
you.
I write all these cool lines. I'm so glad people are starting to use them. My finger pyramid of evil. So, lots of fun.
All right. We polled the Twitterverse and the Facebookverse. I think that's right. With a question to see what folks are looking forward to in 5.4. So now I'm going to invite our chat to go ahead and cast a vote now for the same poll. And Sakari, do we put it up?
Yes, the attendant is echoing things to chat now, and on screen before you is the question of the week.
So vote. What are you most excited about in 5.4? Let us know.
Boy, what am I going to put? I thought this through, and now I don't know.
So shall I go over the questions, the poll
Absolutely.
questions while people are voting? All right. So we have Crisis on Umbara Flashpoint. So the Flashpoint, the new Umbara Stronghold, more companion customizations, improved graphics settings, class balance, PvP changes to daily and weekly rewards. So did we want to chit-chat a little bit about this while we're giving people a little bit more time to vote?
I think that sounds fair.
All right.
Maybe we can
Don't
discuss.
influence anyone, but
Yes, indeed. No kidding.
so Sakari, what's your favorite?
Oh, what is my favorite? I think I'm probably not going to go with the mainstream on this. I think that mine is going to be the PvP changes to daily and weekly rewards.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I know
okay,
that's not the most popular one there, but for me, I'm quite an avid PvP player. I do a lot of PvP and I enjoy it. And one of the things that is absolutely like really been punishing for me over the course of time has been if you miss a daily. If you miss a daily, you lose everything, and then or if you don't turn it in, you complete it, you don't
Yes.
turn it in, and then you turn it in late the next day. You just get punished so much with that, and so
That's
the fact
the bane
that
of my
they
existence.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, for me, the fact that they are reducing the output for the daily, but are increasing the output for the weekly, is absolutely a welcome change. So I'm very happy to see that.
how about Magic? What about you?
Well, I am awfully excited about the Flashpoint, and my reason is probably not as awesome as other people's reason. It's not like I'm like, oh, new content, woo. It's actually a very selfish reason because before Disney bought the rights to Star Wars and made this movie that they made, Episode 7, that's a whole nother can of worms. But anyways, before that all happened, I was massively into the Star Wars books. That was my childhood, and my son is very much into them as well. I loved the Bane trilogy. Absolutely loved the Bane trilogy. And there was references, very veiled and sometimes very direct references to shadow assassins from the Academy on Umbara. And it was supposed to be like, they weren't super strong in like sorcery and things like that, but it was all about how they're really great at concealment and they're the best assassins in the galaxy and they're still Sith at the same time. And so to me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is super epic. But then there was nothing really else about it. And so that always stuck in my mind. And when this was announced, I'm like, ooh, this is it. This is it. I want to see if they have any of that stuff. They probably won't. But I cannot help but really hope that there's something in line with the Bane trilogy because Darth Bane, oh my gosh, he's still my heart. I love those books. So yeah, that's honestly the reason why I'm super excited about the Flashpoint and the Stronghold, because that was something that was really near and dear to my heart. And I just want to see it. Although I really love PvP and I'd like to see that happen too. I mean, I can't not save the Flashpoint. That's my thing.
Sounds good.
What about you, Elise?
Stronghold, I think. I mean, I kind of like a little bit about
Because
all
those
of them.
decos.
Yeah.
She has so many waiting in the wings, right?
More decos. Again, ding, ding, ding. Okay, I won't go down that road again. But, Yeah, so I really don't read the Star Wars books. I'll admit it. I don't watch Rebels or Clone Wars, and I don't read the comics, graphic novels. So
We like diversity here at the council. We made sure to get somebody from every walk of life, including like the very barely fan.
Hey, I saw Return of the Jedi in the movie theater. Thank you very much.
Then you're an epic fan, right?
I am truly. But anyway,
I watched episode 1 in theaters. What does that make me?
She has a founder title. She's a founder title.
Okay, gotcha.
Make sure you wear it.
So, but you know, I'm happy. The tent's big enough. So, you know, lots of people were oohing and ahhing. Shadow had a post up on his blog, I think last week or earlier this week, explaining the significance of Umbara. Something about one of the characters was in one of the movies that was probably from there, so that was pretty cool. But I'm about the Stronghold. I like a little bit of everything, but Stronghold.
So that's one thing that Will Wright, who is Grognard, did with Passionately Casual podcast as sort of a thing that they did. And there is a video out there for it, but he did like the segment is called Star Lores, and it's like all of the background behind Umbara. So he did a really good job on that. So I'm happy to kind of slip that in here and say, hey, go check that out on YouTube. I suppose I could put the link to that in the show notes, let everybody go have a look.
Yeah, that would probably be good.
Yeah.
Is everybody done voting? Can we talk about the results now of the poll?
Oh, real quick. I seen someone mention finding out who the traitor is. How the last update, there was mention of a traitor when you sat on the throne and it like overloaded. And I also am intrigued and want to know. My husband and I were discussing that last night because I'm like trying to get through my characters as much as possible for the next update.
Thank you for that, Yads. It was Yads in chat. So, yeah, I would like to find out who this person is myself, but I almost wonder if they're going to string us along a little further. So.
I think I figure like the biggest upset would be Lana Benico because she's been there literally from day one. She's the one who instigated everything. Nothing would have happened without her. And to be the biggest like, oh my gosh moment would probably have to be Lana. There, and you'd be like, well, if you're a spy, that makes sense, but Lana, she's the one who literally instigated everything, and so you're like, she was the shadow puppeteer from the beginning. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to laugh if it turns out to be Malavi Quinn. I mean, like, what do you expect, right, from this guy?
Well, but like, if you killed him, like some of us who can't stand Quinn at all, then it's gonna like, it's gonna ruin that storyline because you're like, kill Quinn? Heck yes, I would love to kill Quinn. Thank you. I'm gonna go get this Republic SIS agent and kill Quinn.
I think it's funny that Marx is in chat and says that Redna has never looked so well. I think that's epic. He's in hollow form today, everybody. At least you want to talk about the poll results?
Yes, we ready?
Can we get the answers in chat, please? From the attendant. All right, so let's put the questions up one more time. And then the results.
Yes. Well, let's make sure we compare. I'll be very interested, being that I can't see them. So we'll have to the chat ones. Anyway, so on our question of the week that we put out earlier, looks like the majority of the people are excited about the flashpoint. Next popular is more companion customizations. Really? I'm surprised by that.
I am pretty sick of Lana and Theron's outfits, just saying.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is actually...
Mostly Lana.
Isn't this one Senya this week?
That would be super cool.
I think it's Senya. And if it's Senya, then it makes a lot of sense to me because I'm so sick of seeing like that armor on her. It's just too bulky. I don't think
Actually, I'm just really sick of her hair. Like, I can deal with the armor. I'm just really sick of her hair.
Hold on. Doesn't she have a bun?
Like Sakari?
She does. Yeah, I'm not fond of that armor. It's just, I don't know. I like sleeker ones, but that's me. Improved graphic settings, got a vote. Class balance, got a vote. And PvP changes, got a vote. The one that I wanted got 0 votes.
The Stronghold.
Maybe because there's just not enough decos to put in it.
Interesting. It's good because even if you look at our chat, everybody was saying that the flashpoint is. Granted, we don't have that many people responding right now, so I don't know
Right.
that you have that much to go on. But the flashpoint seems to be the popular one, no matter how you ask this question. And the Stronghold got a vote from somebody. Who was it? One of you two?
Yeah, no.
Please.
I would if I could, but I can't vote. But
No, I did not.
thank you, whoever put the Stronghold. Wise choice. Yeah.
All right, so with that, let's go ahead and jump on into our deliberation segment. This is where we basically just throw out the topic of the week and talk about it and really dig deep as we can and compare notes and have a good old time just exploring it. What we're going to do this time, since Redna isn't here and he's here by Hollow, he's going to hollow in for us, and we're going to play a pre-recorded segment that he gave us, and so we'll hear Redna's kind of overview on all of 5.4 and what's coming, what he thinks about it, and then when we are done with that, I'll lead us back into the discussion, and we will compare notes ourselves. So let's go into that now, and we will be back shortly.
I think you mean it's a hollow call.
A hollow call. Here we go.
Hey guys, this is Redna. Hollow coming in from the great beyond. Unfortunately, it's a pre-recorded message, so all you get is a static image, and you just have to sit and listen to me. But the things that I'm looking forward to concerning 5.4 that I just wanted to be able to share my thoughts on. Crisis on Umbara Flashpoint. I'm actually just excited about this because they're going to be implementing some sort of gear check. Kind of wish that they would do something like that for PvP, but this isn't about PvP. So I'm very excited about this Flashpoint. I'm excited that they're actually mixing and matching on expectations for how you ought to form a group depending on what kind of difficulty level you're supposed to be running off. But more importantly, I'm really excited about the Umbara Stronghold, which it does tie directly into the Umbara Flashpoint based off of the fact that you need to be doing the Flashpoint, and depending on the difficulty, if you're trying to do it easy mode, you're going to have to do it more often. I'm actually really pleased with that, quite frankly. It'll encourage me to play with my friends in an organized fashion to do it as quickly as possible to get that little key in order to be able to unlock the thing. Whereas those people that maybe they don't care to play with others or get to know others, it will still enable them to do it, but they're going to have to work a little harder at it. Hopefully it actually encourages people to seek out good guilds and be a part of them in order to gain gear or strongholds or other things. You know, just find a group that they can appreciate one another and maybe enjoy the game more by playing with others. I know that nobody needs to do that, but it is my preferred method, so I'm of course going to endorse that. As for companion customizations, could care less. We've already got a few dozen more companions than I care to have, and quite frankly, all I want is content that allows me to kill them and no longer see them listed on my screen. Period. I want my 5 original. Can you tell? Anyway, improved graphics settings. This may be actually the thing that I am the most excited about, just because they have consistently, since this game launched, been doing little tweaks and improvements. And every single time I think it's going to be unnoticeable, and I can totally tell a difference. Like, it's just really awesome that they're consistently able to continue to not only improve the server stability and the ability for me to play in large groups, but they're also improving the graphical performance. Now, I understand a lot of people need to drop those graphics in order to be able to perform in large group environments, but when I've got the dough to cash out to be staying on the bleeding edge, I'm glad they're providing me with a little something something. Class balance, the thing that I'm actually really excited about this, well, it really doesn't impact me right now. I would imagine that Magic Ace might actually be rather jazzercised about it, because once again, we've got more classes that are getting balanced in any way, shape, or form. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that are just boo-hooing the fact that they're getting impacted in some way or another. I'm glad that, like, I would love it. It used to be a curse word when you talked about flavor of the month. But now, like, that's the goal. If I could see a flavor of the month that they're actually showing that much love, care, and concern about class dynamics, that different classes are actually on top on different months, that would be so much better than what we've been dealing with, which is almost like class of the year or worse. And the PvP changes to the daily and weekly rewards. I've heard a bunch of people boo-hooing this, but I think it's a topic that we can discuss on another episode, because quite frankly, a lot of people I think are wrong. And I really want to talk about that in person. Alright guys, I love you all a long time, and I will see you next week.
All right, thank you, Redna. Appreciate that, my friend. So I don't know almost where to go from here. It's like we spent a few minutes talking a little bit about what we're looking forward to most, but I know that there's going to be a mixed bag for every one of us, right? Where we have things that we want to see and there's things that we're not quite so happy to see and some things that we are a little bit critical of. So with that said, let's kind of do a quick overview of the things that we're not looking forward to. In 5 point. That sound like a good place to go from here?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Take us away, Elise. You can lead us through this because I'm scared to.
Okay, so I'll start. I could care less about companion customizations like Redna.
Mm-hmm. He was very emphatic,
honestly,
wasn't he?
Yeah. I really, don't care. I have too many. I use the same one over and over again, especially since I don't have to like change them out like I had to before they took that away. So I just picked the one I like, and so I changing the clothes is cool and all, but it's not anything I'm like, yay, 5.4, I get to change. Especially when there were problems last time. So that's just me personally. How about you, Magic? I'll toss the ball to you.
Oh, let me see here.
Hot ball.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I have that in my stronghold. I wish we had like an actual hut ball. I'd toss it. No,
that would be kind of cool. Graphics.
Don't kick the hut ball. I actually am excited about the customizations, and the reason why is because the only thing that I ever did with Barbie dolls when I was little was change their clothes and do their hair. I didn't actually play with them. I changed their clothes, did their hair. So like my little companions that run around, they're like the Barbie dolls. I want them to have their own look. I always did. That's why I hated the gear that would drop for my companions. I would go and actually augment and do all the great stuff for this awesome character tune that I was going to bring with me. Like Toxica on the Shadowlands had Torian because that was her hubby, and I had him all decked out in the coolest gear, and it was augmented and everything was set. And you know what? Because I still love that gear, he still has a fully augmented set of gear because I didn't want to change that gear. So even though it does him no good, he's got a fully augmented set. So personally, I am thrilled for it because like you're all about the strongholds and stuff. I'm like the character customizations because I already know my strongholds are awesome, but nobody sees them. Everyone's going to see my companions because they're going to see me running with them. So it's like almost like a sports car to me. I want it to be really cool, and I want to show it off and be like, oh yeah, look how awesome it is. Do you see this customization that you can't get? Like Kaizen, I have the Kefis customization. Oh my gosh, I love that. Because not everybody can get the Kefis customization.
Yeah.
Right, so the fact that I have that at all, if I'm on my Jedi, I pull out Kaizen, they're like, ew, Kaizen. I'm like, ew, did you look at his skin? Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Like, I like toting that around.
I would like, say, ew, it's Kefis.
Well, while we're on the...
I like Kefis.
Well, I was going to say, while we're on the topic of companion customizations, this is a little bit of a sidebar. It's not necessarily a 5.4 thing, but the one thing that I'm missing a lot as an Imperial player is being able to customize the pub side characters. For instance, one of the things I hate is the default look of the droid, right? T7. I want to change his color scheme. I like the blue and silver kind of R2 look so I went looking for that the other day. It was a while ago, and I couldn't find that anywhere. And I as an Imperial character, I had learned that those aren't available to you. That is kind of something I wish that they would slip in there in a future thing. And I know that's not necessarily 5.4, but it's kind of on topic.
Was that... What were they selling in the cartel market this week? It was the die packs and the titles. And was customizations one of them?
I don't think so.
I want to say until today, it's been the Revan Reborn set and the there's a droid. It's like it looks kind of like IG-88, but it's something a little different.
But it was in the because I bought a pack from the Grand Die pack that was on there. It was in one of like the packs or something further on. All right, but anyway, I was just gonna say sometimes they sell those like the customization packs or something.
Right.
Right. I have several of them for like the female Mandalorian that is a Zabrak that I cannot remember her name, something Spar, I think.
Akavi.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? Was she Scoundrel or something like that? Or I forgot whose companion she was. I forgot. Anyways,
yeah,
I have like 5 of those.
Yeah.
I have like 5 of those customizations sitting in my legacy bank, but since I never play that character, like I never have a desire to have that character out because Zabrak is just not my favorite. Once Darth Maul died in episode 1, I was just done with Zabraks. So I don't have any of those. I don't care about them. The customizations I care about are specifically the ones that I really... Yeah, see? Okay. It broke my heart that he died. Broke my heart.
Now we're drinking out of his head.
Yeah. So anyways, my customization issues is like they've forced us to have all of these massive amount of companions now, and you can change all the looks of all of them except for the main ones that you see in all the cutscenes.
Right.
So now that they're finally making it to that, so that you can change these, that's really all I was wanting, because I'm like, I have to see these people over and over and over again for every single time I do the story, and I can't change their clothes or their freaking hair. So I was really, really aggravated about that. Although, hey, have you noticed with the Lana Beniko one, when you take out the customization out of her slot, that it actually makes her look like she lost weight? Like her cheeks look...
She rolls back to the old Lana, right?
That's what I was going to say. That's
like
what I heard.
Her hair does this little... Like, her little part thingy here is different, but it looks like she loses weight. And I thought that was cool because I thought that would reflect wartime stress and being, like, the right hand of the leader of the, the Alliance. I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
You might be a little bit of a role player.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was cool because I was like, storyline-wise, that would make so much sense.
I just come for the decos and the outfits.
Right.
That's what I'm here.
In all honesty, I am actually pretty glad that they've put the ability to customize those guys into the game. It's not something I've gotten around to doing yet, but it's something I'm actually really glad to have. Like, I am going to get in there and do it, but the only problem for me is that I've got like 5 or 6 characters that I'm trying to get through all of this content together. And now I've got to go find a look for every Koth on every one of them, or every Lana on every one of them. And I would want them to be decently different. So there's actually a stack of work if you're actually going to pursue this.
I was going to say, that is a lot of work you're putting on yourself.
Yeah. And I don't know that I want to do that. So I may pick like one character to do it on. But then the completionist side of me is I don't know. It bothers me. So it's one of those things where I need to decide I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this.
So what, you haven't told us what you're most not looking forward to in 5.4.
Oh, goodness. What I'm not looking forward to. I'll say this. I have heard rumors that the Umbara is just the flashpoint. And so one of the things that I really love about the core stories in SWTOR is the vastness of Tatooine and Hoth and Alderaan and some of those gigantic worlds that you get to run around on and explore and go find things and get stuck on the rocks. There's a lot of really cool things that I have enjoyed being able to just explore. And one of the things that I've felt definitely puts the game on rails lately is the way that it's just kind of, this is an explorable area, or here's your very limited dailies area, but there's not much by way of exploration. So I think, while I'm glad to have another flashpoint, I wish that Umbara was a world that we got to go out and explore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily I don't like this that they're bringing into the game. It's just that I wish there was more of that in that.
Right. I mean, I don't know how, or they need to make a compromise. I don't know if Iocath was as explorable as, the one where you go with the Mandalorian chapter when you get Torian back. Yeah, and you had that. you had an instance. You didn't have as much area to explore, but you could do more than just a flashpoint instance of running
it's essentially
around
a dailies area
and
is what
whatever.
they've given you. Yeah.
Right,
It was
and that was
awesome for gatherers.
So I mean that was kind of a compromise, but yeah, it would be nice for them to add another planet or something they're gonna.
Yeah, I don't think that they necessarily have the resources to devote to that much. You know, they can create an area, and here we get to play in it. But we're definitely not dealing with the BioWare that built this game, that was able to pour that much development time into creating a world as vast as Hoth.
Right.
It takes. I'm a map completionist. I like to fill in the whole map, and I have, the last few days been able to go. I'm working on Corellia right now, but get Hoth, get Belsavas, explore every piece of that map, and I miss that. I miss doing that, and like once I get to the end of that, and once you get to the end of Ilum, after that, everything just kind of streamlines.
So what would you like them to do to meet that need for you?
I don't know. I don't. It's almost like I'm kind of resigned. I mean, hey, I'd love to have another Tatooine, but I'm kind of resigned to the fact that my expectations are lowered. I don't think we're going to get that. I think the dailies area do some things. I just they don't fulfill my need for exploration. I don't think, but they do. The ability to run around and actually get to put your feet on a world and experience the world. You get a little bit of that. I just want to get lost. I want to go out and find things, find datacrons,
go spend some time on Iocath. That's easy to get lost if you don't open up your map. Everything looks exactly the same. Everything. I spent 35 minutes on Iocath and still didn't find what I wanted. I had to look it up. I hate looking stuff up. I want to be able to find it and be like, oh my gosh, like you said, like get lost, find stuff, explore. Yeah, I get lost in Iocath, but not the kind of getting lost I wanted. It's the kind of like, oh look, that wall looks exactly like the wall over there, and I bet it is the exact same wall. They just took the code out, flipped it, and stuck it right there.
It's like
that's what I feel like.
Every cave in this game is the same shape. Every cave.
Yes.
Always, runs down to that little corner down there. So I think that's humorous, actually. But yeah, I mean,
that's what it feels like.
Iocath is a pretty huge area. I'll admit. I mean, I've got to give them that. They did do a lot. You can get lost in it.
I don't like that kind of loss. Like I said, because there's no landmarks. You just see that one tower in the middle, and everything else is like, was I just here? Oh my gosh, no, I wasn't just here. Oh wait, yeah, I was just here because this is exactly the same.
Platforming. We need more platforming. I'd love to.
Oh God, no.
I love it.
Platforming
Datacrons.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. My husband's gotten all those Datacrons for me.
Bad. This is so bad.
That was ridiculously hard.
That's what
no. You know what? You can get lost. You just need to become directionally challenged.
That's why I have Siri.
You'll be lost all the time.
I keep going in circles. That'd be great.
I can find my way in real life. It's just in this game I can't.
Or just to have no memory whatsoever, no recollection of where you've been, then everything is new to you.
No.
Any other favorites or excitements or anything? I mean, I'm trying to see if we want to talk about class balance or not.
That's actually what I was going to say. I was going to say I'm wanting to talk about class balance.
All right, let's go there then.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'll start with that.
Please do.
So, I have been looking forward to this for so long because I have griped and complained on different times about different classes, but it's never the same thing as every other person complains because everyone else's complaining is usually from a DPS or tank standpoint. My complaining is from a healer standpoint. Nobody seems to care, even though, you all die without us. So, but let's not listen to us healers. That would be crazy. My excitement is that this class balancing will make my life not so difficult. I PvP hardcore and I PvE hardcore. And despite popular belief, you can still be a dedicated PvP player and PvE. Okay? You can do this. So with the class balances, my biggest excitement for it is there won't be near as much of the, well, of course you're gonna do better DPS because you're this class, or of course your heals are better because you're this class. The griping that I hear is literally enough to aggravate me to the point where I just want to log off. I don't want to play because it's like people that do parse and star parse and all that stuff, they're constantly like number racing each other. And with the class balance, I'm just hoping most of that can just chill and people will just play and quit racing each other like crazy. My least favorite part is that I will no longer carry the lofty spot in my heart as my mercenary healer, where I could literally do buku damage and epic kills at the same time. I probably won't be as awesome anymore. So, downside, but upsides too.
That's a bummer.
Let me ask you, Magic, since you said, I think in a previous week, that you have tried all of the healers, right? Or you do them all actively. Okay, so
all mine are augmented and got legacy gear for pub side, M side, all that.
All right, so then you are probably more familiar with the conversation about operative and smuggler healers, correct?
Shh! Don't talk about.
Because we're talking about changes coming in 5.4, but this is a change they decided not to make in 5.4. Is to actually, I guess it was some nerfs that they had lined up for that. The total healing output they scaled, or they were going to scale back. They decided not to because there's no burst healing in that.
My main is an operative that I raid on.
And you're
operative healer.
Okay, so this is good.
Yes.
We have some good conversation going here. Some opinions, right?
They have
Go ahead, Elise. You got something.
We have no burst healing. Not really. It's really like fiddly healing. I like operative as opposed to, I've tried operative and sage healing, and I'm bringing up my merc healer now, but I do heal on commando on pub side. So there is no oh crap button really as an operative like there is for sage and commando. There just really isn't. So you really have to like be thinking, okay, I need to combo this one and this one to be able to get there. And if they don't balance that right, they're really going to screw up the class. When I started playing this, operative heals were considered absolutely crappy.
Yeah.
So
and they have been for a long time, actually.
Right. And I know once, like, 2.0 or earlier, they were really good, and then they got nerfed, and then sages came to the top, and that whole time it's only really been recently that they've really come back around again. So they have to be surgical with the
to me, I think because I've played it a little bit as well, what I learned very quickly was it's more about managing healing momentum than it is actually, okay, let me heal, here's a need, let me identify that need, or I can anticipate some damage is going to come in here, let me get on that. It's kind of like you just have to get the heals rolling and stay rolling with them in order to be effective in any kind of way.
Preemptive healing.
Yeah. And you really have to kind of stay more steady, which is why that really goes really well with those more bursty healers. In operations especially, I find. I really like to have either a sage or a mercenary or a merc healer with the operative. When you have two operatives, sometimes you really have to have two experienced operatives to be able to work. I don't do smuggler yet, but
with like the exception, I think, of the newest operative boss, whatever the twins, two scoundrel healers there really don't matter in my opinion, because you've got one going south and one going north, and unless one of them's just really poor and the other one has to swap over to catch up those heals, if they're both even decent healers, even if they're not epic healers on story mode, if they're both decent, it does not matter if they're both scoundrel or operative, because they're not going to really overlap their heals at all. They're going to be taking care of their 4 people, in my opinion.
Right.
That's what I did. I've double operative healed that like 4 times now.
Well,
okay, sorry.
So there's an observation I kind of have, and it leads its way a little bit into an argument, but I don't know. I know it's one I'm going to get jumped on for having. So let me give it to you and see what you guys think of it. But the idea is that you know how you have some DPS that are burst DPS, and then you have some DPS that are sustained DPS, right? They kind of get the momentum going, and as long as they maintain that momentum. The idea is that overall, especially if it's on one target, they will actually output more DPS than, DPS per second average than the burst spec will. I kind of see that the operative and the smuggler is kind of the sustained HPS spec. And so there's a sense in which I'm kind of okay with them not making any changes to it, because yes, it's one of those ones that it's difficult to master, but if you figure it out and you're really good at it, then you're really good at it, and you get the more heals per second output, because that's the sustained version of it as opposed to the burst. So I don't know if what you guys think of that. Is it fair for me to say, or do you think that it's totally heretical for me to say, no, they don't need a nerf this. They don't need to change
I don't know. Clearly there is something that BioWare sees that they need to nerf. That they feel they're overhealing on where they feel they need to be, I believe was the exact post. But I would like to know what it is that they feel they're doing too good.
I think it's the cooldown on. I think it's the global cooldown on Culto waves, because that comes up super fast. So, like, if I was looking at a class wanting to see what is their biggest strength that's making them OP, I personally, as an operative healer, think it's because of how quickly that pops back up. But I mean, again, if you're looking at it also at the Culto missile of the Merc, it's almost the same. There's not really that big of a difference, but the difference is that it's longer sustained heals than the Culto missile. And so, like with the Sork puddle that they drop with your revivification, I think it is. You have to, if it's not an instacast, you have to channel it. If you don't have the proc for it, you have to channel it. So therefore, it can be interrupted, and you won't get those heals down. With the Culto waves, even if it's interrupted, you still get off, quite a bit of heals. You can still achieve a bit of healing before it's interrupted. Versus like a Sork, you can't.
Right. It's pretty cheap too. The Culto waves is pretty cheap,
So in my opinion, I think everything else would be stupid if they touched it, in my opinion, because I think with the last time they nerfed us, with what they did to how much Culto Cloud healed, they nerfed how much it healed, and they nerfed how much the healing for the Culto probes, because I always probe people. They lowered the amount that the probes were healing for. So I think what they did then was the nerf balancing they should have done. But if it were me, I would say it was probably how long, or like the cooldown. I think it's too short of a cooldown. If they added like 0.5 or a whole second longer, it wouldn't be as effective, and they wouldn't be as OP. Because in PvP, I'll tell you, it's ridiculous how many heals I get on my operative right now.
So I think between 5.3 and 5.4, we're going to be seeing generally a nerf to all of the healers, right? But not the operative smug.
Yes.
For now, but they said it's coming.
That's
they just haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Because this is going to affect harder content. I wonder if it's going to invalidate some raid teams pushing Nightmare. Or I guess we shouldn't use that word. The hard mode. What is it? Hard now? Master mode. Thank you.
Veteran, but master
mode content.
I will never call it that stuff. It's story mode, hard mode, and nightmare mode. The changing of that was ridiculous.
What I would like to see, I know this happens in every game, right? And people want challenge, and that factors in, and then balance and all that stuff. I would really like whatever they do to make it unimportant what class you pick, no matter what you want to do in the game. And that's just not the case now, right? There's certain things that people want you in raids, and certain things that are
actually like that.
I don't. I think that takes away choice, and people get attached after you march through the class stories to 50 to their character. They want to continue on. You don't want to have to go and level up another one just because you want to do end game content. I think that's silly, and you don't learn the class as well that way.
Well,
you're just trying to hurry up and speed that through. So
I have buku amounts of tunes, but that's for lockout purposes and for needs. Also, I personally love all the heal classes, so I guess I'm biased in the opinion of I like specifically saying this one is better suited to this one, or this one has a perk that this one doesn't. Therefore, making one class important for a specific part of it. But I guess it's just something I personally like. I know a lot of people don't think that is a good idea. It's not super popular. I personally like it.
Or, I mean, so if someone felt like if they really wanted to heal and they had to have all 3 classes, how well do you know all 3?
Very well.
Do you know what I mean? But not
Yes.
everybody is that. Do you know what I'm saying? Not everybody puts
Right.
that amount of time and
But-
is that passionate about it. They might learn one really well and then pick up another one on the side as their kind of duo, because most people have at least 2, right? If they're really into raiding, to balance out if someone else
Right.
brings something the same one you play. But do you really know the other one as well? You always go with your main, and then the other one is a good one. Some do, but most don't,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
That's why when people ask me what's your main, I'm like, well, a healer? They're like, yeah, but which one? I'm like, which one do you need? And they're like, whatever you want. I'm like, well, you're not helping me out here because they're literally equal to me. I guess if you said PvP, I would definitely say a merc. But in PvE, I'm like, well, it depends. Which one are we doing? Is there something we can stealth through? I'll bring my operative. What's the other healer that's coming? Because to me, like, I always ask what the other heal class is, no matter what. Because
You want to compliment.
however
Right.
confident they are in their
Right.
class, because I'm confident in all 3, but if they're on a class they're not confident with, I'll bring one that I know is better suited to complement that healer, because I can pick up any slack that they might give.
Right.
So, but that, I guess, again, that's just how I think about it.
I don't know. Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the other ones. All right. Well, it's almost wrap-up time. Is there any last thoughts?
I don't know. I think I am excited for little new content. You know, I appreciate these big chapter updates, that they kind of move the story one more point ahead. We get a stronghold out of this. We get a flashpoint out of this. I think it's going to be something to do in the game for a little while. You know, we can pick and find things that we don't like about it and things that we're looking forward to, things that we don't. But generally speaking, new content is new content, and that's a good. So I'm actually happy to have something new to do for a while.
Yeah. I like
For
they
sure.
were a little unique this time. Even though I don't like the way that you have to get the stronghold, I think that's different than what they've done in the past with how you get it. So
Yeah.
I will say that even though flashpoints,
You don't like flashpoints. You're kind of forced to do this flashpoint if you want
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
yes. So I'd rather
We'll do it
PvP
with you, Elise. We'll bring you through it, okay? I have a question real quick for Sakari. If you were going to do another class, not Sork, which one would you attempt for heals?
For healer.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, I think I would probably go with operative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should. It's a fun class. I mean,
They all are fun.
I like it better. I put my Sage on the shelf because I just like I always have something to do. I think is how I originally. You always have something to do. You have a probe to put on somebody, cultal wave to lay down. I started when Sages were like easy mode. Everybody said it was the easiest healing class to do. Was that before 4.0 or whatever?
I never heard that, and I've been playing from the beginning.
Oh my
Sages is
god,
easy
it
mode,
was
yeah.
everywhere. Like I remember one YouTuber saying, "Oh look, I can DPS as a healer." Something about
That's why I like
the way
mercs.
that it was really overpowered with the heals.
I do think,
but-
you know, at least to speak to your point about with them, they're trying to bring everything back in and to kind of make it all even so that you get to endgame and everything is valid. I think that's probably where they're trying to go with this whole idea of we want things to have a target DPS. It meets its target DPS, and then how you gear it is how it changes things. But I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. I do know that there are some classes that need to have a comeback. I was enjoying a Pyrotech pre 5.0. When they brought 5.0 in, it just destroyed him, and he was not worth playing anymore. And I was having fun on him in PvP actually, and so I am looking forward to.
That's what she said.
I am looking forward to having some, getting into some of the stuff. So definitely, is that all that we want to say about 5.4? Because in 2 days it deploys.
Yeah, I was super stoked, and then I got that Twitter message for 24 hours, and I'm like, really? Again? You guys don't know what you're doing to me. But yeah,
I am
I
all
guess that's
for
enough.
it though. If they found a game breaking bug and they said, you know what, we're gonna hold off, we're gonna take another day, we're gonna get this thing worked out. You go ahead, BioWare. I'm so glad that you did that. I will wait another day.
I am too, but I can complain about it because they're not watching right now. So
You
if
don't
they
know
hear it
that.
later, I
They
love
might
you.
be.
If you guys
You
hear
don't
it
know.
later, I love you. Thank you for this game. I wouldn't be here without it, but I'm complaining at the moment.
They still heard the complaint. Nice try, though.
Would like to thank all of you that are watching live right now. And for those who will be watching on YouTube and listening for the podcast, thank you very much. Thank you so much. You guys make this super fun. And I am thankful for everyone who talked in chat tonight and voted. Thank you for keeping up with the straw polls as well. It's been super fun.
Yes, we are trying to do a straw poll pretty much every week, just to have something to where you guys get to weigh in on what we're going to be talking about. So we try to get that out Wednesday or Thursday, and then that gives you a little time to do it. That gives us some time to watch the results and think about how we want to talk to certain things, and then we get to bring that in and see. So definitely your participation is awesome, and we appreciate that you guys do it. Sure. That said, it brings us to an end of another episode. The council is hereby adjourned. If you'd like to reach us, you can email us at thecouncil@thecouncilswotor.com. You can find Elise on Twitter at abrown35. Magic Ace is at the Magic Ace, the way her name is spelt on her frame. Redna at R3DN4, lead speak for Redna, and you can catch me at I am Sakari. Don't forget to visit our website at www.thecouncilswotor.com. Follow us on the social media. Also, don't forget our Patreon page at patreon.com/thecouncilswotor. That's it for us this week, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Appreciate you all being here. Take care of yourselves, and may the Force serve you well.
Or the Empire, because I like the Empire.
Yes.
Bye!
See you, everybody.
Bye. Have a good rest of the week.
I understand.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair. How can you be on the council and not be a master?
Take a seat, young Skywalker.
Forgive me, Master.